Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Back again. Peace to the planet, y'all. Black coffee, no sugar, no cream.
Wow.
We're back.
We back. Episode
49.
we own. I know you got it.
We everywhere. SoundCloud. Hey, SoundCloud, you won't be able to see the archives because I ain't paying them no more. But we still, but our latest episodes will still be on SoundCloud, but you just won't be able to go back. But we everywhere, Apple Podcasts, Google Music Play, Stitcher, Spotify, Spreaker. So yeah, black coffee, no sugar, no cream. This will be an abbreviated episode, but we're gonna try to cover a lot.
Go. We fired up.
Let's see.
Black coffee, no sugar, no cream podcast.
And we're back, so we might have some effects this week. Okay.
Got them stacked up.
So you doing all right, brother?
I'm doing real good. Real
good.
Yeah,
so I know it's still Ramadan.
Still Ramadan. I'm still, going through the intense heat, and we working outside. That's why my immune system is down.
They actually have. I mean, I don't practice. Maybe I should get to fasting, but yes, you work outside, but it's Mother Nature's been kind of okay to you, right?
Man, look, I love Mother Nature, Father Nature. I love natural. Plus, being from Mississippi, man, and coming from the descendants of folks who picked cotton for hundreds of years out in the sun. My goodness, you know what? Forget all that, man. I was so hot, my head started.
When today? Yeah, it was warm today, but
man, it was hot. It was hot as fish grease out there. I mean, it gets so hot, it feels like my scalp is gonna peel off. So whatever DNA stuff that's supposed to be handed down for me to handle that, man, I'm probably still in the wrong line.
All right.
I mean, it was so hot last week, man. I think I had a mild heat. I wouldn't say a stroke, but more like it wasn't a full stroke, but I had so much heat in me, it was rough. I just had to kind of relax a little bit.
Yeah.
So, and I can feel, I'm getting darker.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah.
I noticed that.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
But I feel pretty good. It's been, how many days? 15 days? Something like that.
Yeah, today 22nd.
Like 15 days.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's coming right along. Something that's going to discipline, man. Discipline me and, whatever's going to improve me.
Okay.
I'm cool with it. So
right.
I appreciate you asking, man.
Yeah. And we definitely thank you, the listeners.
That's right, the listeners.
We appreciate you. If you want to consider yourself a fan, we'll receive that as well. But
we'll receive that fan.
Thank you very much for continuing to check us out.
They still checking us out?
Yeah. Shout out to Colleen Page. A Shows, Roosevelt Moore.
Roosevelt
been listening and shooting us a shout out. So
that's good.
Yeah, so shout out to the active people that send us messages and speaking.
That's incredible, man.
Yeah.
We're doing pretty good. 49 episodes. We got 4 fans. That's good.
And, people listen and don't comment. We appreciate you too. I check those numbers from time to time. So, and the likes and
no dislikes, just likes. Any comments?
Oh,
you're gonna tie it in as we
we'll
go.
see.
Okay.
We
the
still
good, bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
Man, say what you say, and then we'll comment, and then we'll go from there.
But speaking of Colleen, she commented in the Facebook group.
Okay.
About our last episode. We spoke for the majority of the episode, probably about half of it, about the minister being banned and him actually responding. And our first topic of the night, we'll get into it, is Colleen kind of hit me to it that Father Flagers, Cardinal, I'll read a little bit. Cardinal Blaze Cupid rebuked Father Michael Flager in a statement Friday evening for his recent event hosting Nation of Islam Minister Louis Farrakhan at St. Sabina Church Thursday night. Flager invited Farrakhan to speak at St. Sabina a week after he was permanently banned from Facebook and Instagram, that platform deemed hateful and even dangerous. Farrakhan spoke for about an hour to a standing room only audience. Many in the church streamed his remarks live on Facebook. So here's the quote. Without consulting me, Father Michael Flager invited Minister Louis Farrakhan to speak at St. Sabina Church in response to Facebook's decision to ban him from its platforms. The statement continued, Minister Farrakhan could have taken the opportunity to deliver a unifying message of God's love for all his children. Instead, he repeatedly smeared the Jewish people using a combination of thinly veiled discriminatory rhetoric and outright slander. Cupid condemned what he called a repeated smear of the Jewish people using a combination of thinly veiled discriminatory rhetoric and outright slander. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
He said there were good Jews and there were bad Jews. True, there are good Catholics and bad Catholics, Flager said Friday. I'm doing what I believe the gospel calls me to do and will continue to try and bring people together and try to speak truth. But Kopik saw it differently, writing anti-Semitic rhetoric, discriminatory invective of any kind has no place in American public life, let alone in the Catholic Church. Since last night's speech, the local Jewish community in Los Angeles-based human rights organization have publicly denounced Flager. I think that Jesus said in the scriptures that leave judgment to the Father, Flager said.
Mm-hmm.
The Illinois Holocaust Museum invited Father Flager to meet with his leadership and survivors. Friday, he said he gladly accepts the invitation and sees this back and forth as a way to open dialogue with the groups. So I don't want to read his full statement.
Good.
Your thoughts?
On which part? It's kind of loaded, you know.
Well, Father Flager,
Okay.
basically,
He didn't get permission from
yeah,
who's the other guy?
Cardinal something, Cardinal,
I got you.
I don't, you know.
Well, I mean, it's Father Flake. I mean, it's interesting. If he's the father, then he has to answer to somebody else. Then is that the like father? And then he said, you know, he needs permission. I mean, that's interesting because I think about it like this. You know, I don't know the structure of the Catholic Church. I don't know, you know, what they can speak freely. Can they speak the truth freely, or do they need to send it through a sieve, you know, a filter? Depends, you know, it all depends on who it is. Because anything that comes from the Catholic Church nowadays, you know, from my perspective, it has to go through the filter of, man, all the pedophilia, all the other non-natural stuff that, you know, that the, I guess, priests or whoever these guys are supposed to be, you know, asked to do things that are like really, really, really unnatural for a man not to be with a woman, and then they end up sneaking around doing it with children and hundreds of millions of dollars being paid out, you know, for these folks that, you know, these pedophiles and, you know, giving children AIDS and then being pardoned from it, you know. And those incidents get very little, you know, airtime.
Right.
And then they say that Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, you know, they hear violence. But see, we don't have a history of violence.
Right.
Not one incident, you know. So how is it that you ban someone from what you consider potential danger or potential evil or potential hatred when, you know, not just potential, not just alleged, but, you know, actual like acts of evil and danger to children, you know. It's just amazing that this would come up at this time, you know, and for them to, you know, tell Father Flager, why didn't you get permission from whomever this guy is to speak? You should be able to speak the truth regardless of whom or what. You shouldn't need permission to speak truth. One thing they never said about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, they never said he lied about anything. They never said he lied. They said he teaches hate. You know, and I remember a lecture I was listening to one day. He said, I don't have to teach you hate. He said, for someone to treat you the way we've been treated for hundreds of years and be in the position that we're in, once you find the truth, you can do what you want to with the truth. I can make you hate. So when I think about that, and I think about, they say he's anti-Semitic. Most people couldn't even tell you what a Semite is.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, what is a Semite?
Yeah, I don't know.
We use so many words that we don't know the definition to, and we throw it around because we're like sheep. For the most part, we hear something, we repeat it. We hear something, we repeat it. We just conform to whatever is in the mainstream. But, one of the best things I like about this, now, get off of it, is the goal of any organization should be to free the minds of the people. That's one of the biggest problems that the so-called Jewish people had with Jesus 2,000 and some years ago. They're like, who is this speaking so strong like this? And he doesn't have letters. We didn't teach him. We didn't train him. How is it that he knows so much? So he was a danger to the status quo. That's what the danger was. Like, we're going to lose these people. We're going to lose control of these people, So we're talking about GMOs and organic food and toxins and fluorides and, sodium lauryl sulfate, or the vaccines that, is mandatory for children to get, And then you have someone that speak out against it. It's like, wait a minute, we didn't have problems until we got the vaccines. We didn't have problems until we began to eat the beef with the mad cow disease. Some countries don't even accept beef from the United States of America. That's not considered dangerous when you put the American people in harm's way. That's not dangerous. So what Father Pfleger, man, you either gonna stand for truth or you just cow down. So I applaud him for standing for truth.
And my take is simply this. Master Farrakhan just celebrated, his 85th, 6th birthday?
Ooh, that's a long time.
And he said he's known Father Pfleger.
Yeah, go ahead.
Father Pfleger for 40 years at least?
That's a long time.
So these dudes is old as dirt.
Yeah, they old.
You ain't finna change them.
No.
You ain't finna tell them what to say, when to say it, how to say it. So
that's just what it is. And
that's just what it is.
And I applaud them for standing on that, because so many, as soon as pressure is on them, and the question has to come up, who's putting pressure on these people? That's very seldom asked. Like, wait a minute, Mark Zuckerberg. He didn't just come up with that on his own. It's someone.
I'm having trouble hearing you.
Oh, Siri, I
What is that?
didn't ask you nothing, Siri.
She eavesdropping. She dropping eaves. You know what?
Let me unplug it. I ain't got no music for us tonight, y'all.
But still, she still hear it.
Yeah, I don't know what
George
Siri
Orwell,
on.
man, 1884.
Yeah.
Big Brother's watching. But yeah, I applaud free speech. But more than that, I applaud people who have the spiritual strength to stand on it, regardless of the opposition.
Yeah.
If that's what you believe, that's fine. That's like people with gun control. You have so many people say gun control, gun control, gun control. Hey, you control your own self with the gun.
Yeah.
If you want to carry a gun, fine. If you don't, fine. That's, do what you're going to do. Be responsible, whatever you got to do, Yeah. Hey.
Well, that's that, y'all. Like I said, this abbreviated, so, man, feel free to comment on our response.
Comment on our response. Don't be afraid.
Yeah, don't
Stand
be
up for
afraid.
truth.
But we're going to go ahead and move forward. Well, you know what dominated Black Twitter over the weekend?
What's that?
Graduations.
Graduation. Yes. Yeah.
And
say it.
One of our prestigious HBCUs
say it.
had celebrated their commencement in 2019 commencement.
Mm-hmm.
Morehouse.
Mm-hmm.
And their keynote speaker was Robert F. Smith, who is a billionaire.
Mm-hmm. Billionaire.
Yeah, billionaire with a B.
B
as in
9
boy.
zeros. That's right. B is in baller. Billions.
Yeah.
Bad.
So we may not play music, but we're gonna hook this audio up if we can, and we're gonna talk about it a little bit.
Okay. It's just man.
Let's see here if I can.
Wow, billionaire. That's impressive.
We may not have it.
That's okay. We can talk about
We've
it.
been having a lot of technical difficulties, y'all. Oh, here we go.
Surrounded by a community of people who have helped you arrive at this sacred place and on this sacred day. On behalf of the 8 generations of my family who have been in this country, we're going to put a little fuel in your bus. Now, I've got the alumni over there, and this is a challenge to you, alumni. This is my class, 2019. And my family is making a grant to eliminate their student loans.
They fired up. Wow. That's good. That's incredible.
So
That's incredible.
Robert Smith, on behalf of the 8, well, he said it.
Mm-hmm.
So that 300 graduates from Morehouse, all boys school in Atlanta, Georgia, he pledged to eliminate their student debts, which they were saying would be a total of 44 million,
44, 47.
something like that.
About the same. Wow. That is impressive.
Let's keep this in its proper perspective.
That is impressive.
Student loan debt is the second largest debt in the United States, only trailing mortgages.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Wow. What's the average? I know it varies, but what's the average student loan debt? A dollar figure.
I would say probably I don't know. I mean, I'd read articles about certain students at Morehouse that had $80,000 of debt
80.
that he's going to pay.
80 stacks.
80 stacks, 80
Wow.
bands,
80 bands. That's a band is a grand.
a grand. Yeah, so 80 grand.
Wow. He's just going to wipe it out. I think that's wonderful. I would love to do something I will do something like that one day. I think that's incredible.
Yeah,
That's wonderful. And you know, it also shows the power of being rich. I think that's wonderful. And from the science of getting rich, the little plugin from Wallace D. Wattles, the science of getting rich. When you have resources to do that, it really is an exercise of your faith. I think that is just incredible. I do. Get rich first.
Yeah, gotta get rich. Can't help the poor if you one of them. So we're gonna
start now because you know
we're gonna. I'm just gonna give you a little background on Robert F. Smith
yeah.
before we move on. I think it's great too. Robert F. Smith is a chairman of Vista Equity Partners. I'll try. He's a former chemical engineer, investment banker, founder, CEO of a private equity firm, Vista Equity Partners. He was and as rich as he is worth $4.4 billion.
Wow.
And that ranks him as 163rd richest person in America. Number 480 on Forbes 2018 of the world's billionaires. He has a net worth of $4.4 billion.
That's incredible. That's his network. That means if you
He's richer than Oprah.
everything
He
that he
passed Oprah
has.
in 2018. He's 56. He's from Denver, Colorado,
wow.
and he lives in Austin, Texas. He graduated from Cornell University. And of course, Black Twitter had some twists
No,
and
they
turns.
didn't. What they man? When we say Black Twitter, do I say what they say or what do we say? What y'all say?
What they say, I ain't.
Okay, what
I
they
ain't-
say.
Okay.
Let's find out what they say first, and then I'll see if I can
I'm
kind
gonna
of
read a
conjunction myself on
post
with it.
from a bitter Black woman that I need to pray for. I posted on my Facebook.
Just block her. Just put the
I got a little feedback, but I posted what somebody said.
They said something negative?
Oh, of course. It wouldn't be Black Twitter if it wasn't negative.
Come on, man. Black doesn't have to be synonymous with negativity.
No, it shouldn't, but we're going to talk about it. So, at Terry BM on Twitter, let me read her.
You don't go looking for the negative stuff, do you?
No, but, you know, she wanted the attention and she got it.
Don't give it that much attention.
Basically, at Terry BM saying, why are black people praise and sell out Robert F. Smith for paying off Morehouse student debt? He never cared about black people or our plight. Because if he did, he wouldn't have married an old washed up white Playboy bunny whore who will eventually get all of his money. SMH. Shaking my head.
That was not a very nice thing to say.
That wasn't a very nice thing to say.
No.
And she doubled down.
That's crazy. He can marry who he want to marry.
That's what I thought.
I mean, no, that's real. He did it.
But not only that,
That's crazy. It's his money. He can give it to whomever he wants to.
but not only that, he's on his second marriage.
I'll say that's fine.
I did my research on this man. He inspired me. I got to at least know he on his second marriage.
Okay.
He had he married a chick that looked like she had melanin in her, you know,
A chick. It wasn't
a young lady. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you,
I
brother.
mean, you know, a chick.
Thank you.
She ain't around here laying eggs now. Come on.
He married a young lady,
Yeah.
and she pretty much didn't work out, from what I'm told. Didn't work out.
Yeah, that happens.
And
That bad?
not at
I was
all.
gonna say very few people I know.
But this chick saying that the Playboy bunny gonna get the money. I mean, if you got married and got 3 children by your first wife, you know she got paid. But he kept it moving, bounced back,
Yeah.
and felt inspired in front of those black folks, those black graduates in that black environment, and said, you know what? Y'all my class.
I think that's one.
I think is great. I mean, I was just like,
I'm impressed.
I
man.
followed him. I said, I posted, I said, Robert F. Smith. I have followed Robert F. Smith on all social media platforms. I am most certainly going to get to know him and what he stands for.
Look, hey, please. He stand for progress. I think that's wonderful. I gotta say,
But what's up with our sisters though? Like,
That's just one person. We can't.
yeah, that's
group
just
them.
one person.
can't group 'em.
Yeah, that's just one person.
But you know, you'll always. I don't want to. Well, I'll
Yeah, let's
stick
get
with
into it though. Not just put it on our sisters. Let's just give our opinion about not just Robert F. Smith, but just the perception, the optics of successful black men. That there is a perception, whether it's 100% true or not. There is a perception that when they get successful, the successful, now there are some successful black men that are married to black women, but there are a lot of successful black men that are married to, you know, outside of their race. I won't even say white. I'll say outside of their race.
Okay.
And, you know, we do a lot of talking about looking out for our own, whether it's our family, immediate family. So I guess I don't want to answer a question before I ask it.
Do it.
Can you be pro-black and sleep white?
Man, you could be pro-black and hate some black people if you want to. You can do that. I mean, you can love the victim and you can hate the murderer. And they could be the same color. But, man, life is about choices. You got one life to live. You ain't going nowhere when you die. Or you can believe what you want to believe. That's fine. But you could be with whoever you want to be with. You know, I don't know anybody personally that has not been touched by interracial relationships. I can't think of anybody in my family that has not, I guess, quilted themselves into the fabric of an interracial relationship. I can't think of whether or not it's, you know, black and white, black and Chinese, Korean, and this, that's, and that, you know, any kind of ease you put on it, or whatever the case may be. Or, you know, cross-cultural, I guess you call it organized religion. I think it really boils down to, you know, if you want to be with this person, and this is who you've chosen to be with, whatever obstacles you go through, you choose whether or not to continue to go forward based on, you know, your level of, I guess, fight that you have in you. Because people that are in interracial relationships, you know, they may not face the same issues as someone who has, you know, the same race. But just because you know, two people from the same race, does that mean you're going to automatically be successful and spend like the rest of your lives together, like your soulmates? You know, how many black people get divorced, separated,
Right.
You know, cheat, out of wedlock experiences? You know, how many white people do the same thing? How many Koreans? How many Chinese? How many Mexicans? How many Puerto Ricans? Whatever the case may be, you know. I think the greatest thing that we can do, or I can do, I mean, I don't want to speak for anybody else, just learn as much as I can about myself and then my culture. And my culture does include interaction with Caucasian people. Some of my greatest mentors are Caucasian, white folks. You know, I've learned over the last year, you know, from Caucasians how to be rich. We're taught in the Nation of Islam from the Honorable Minister Farrakhan. He said, observe the operations of the white man. He is successful. He makes no excuses for his failures. He works together in a collective manner. You do the same. So we're not taught to hate, you know, anybody. But we're taught to observe those who are successful. What is success? You know, you're moving and growing towards a progressive idea. You know, you're successful once you decide that's what you're going to be. That's success. I'm going to do this. That's success. So Mr. Smith, man, he can marry who you want to marry. He can change if you want to change. He can go back to the other person he used to be with. Whatever the case may be. Man, life is about choices. What I strive to do is stay out of other people's beeswax.
I'm going to tell you like this. Robert Smith, you 56 years old. You married your current wife, Hope, in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Hope is a former Playboy bunny.
Oh, okay.
She a former Playboy bunny. Hey, I understand. It's coming off a divorce. According to the internet, you were separated in 2010, divorced in 2014. You ran into Hope.
You didn't run into no hope.
You met Hope.
Keep hope alive.
And Hope showed you a good time.
Wait a minute now. He could have showed Hope a good time. Or they could have just clicked. They could have jailed. They gelling. Who knows? You know,
Ditto.
and I mean, I hear people say, you know, whenever a black man, you know, is successful, he has a white woman on his arm, you know. Man, they can do what they want to do.
Yeah.
But whatever his success is, whatever he's done, if I see I can learn something from him, you know, the way of finance or saving or investing, you know, or motivation, I take the part that I could use,
Yeah.
you know, and then keep it moving.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't want to pick him apart to find like Wallace C. Waddle. Man, I don't know if he's married.
That's what
I don't
we
know
do,
if he
though.
divorced. I don't know if he had an affair.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. And I don't care.
Yeah.
Like the blind man said, he was
Them
asking
students
about
don't
Jesus.
care.
Yeah,
Them
but,
students don't care.
Yeah, they don't care. All they know is what he did. What he did. What he paid my student loan debt. What? Think about the parents. Think about that.
Yeah.
Your child's in college. He's at Morehouse. And then you got the good quality education. You graduating. And now you thirsty, you hungry. You got to secure some type of
I know people
income.
paying $800-900 a month on student loan, paying their student loans back. $800-900 a month.
Yeah, but the magnitude of that blessing is noteworthy. I think that's great. And whatever he's done in his personal life, man, that's on you.
There's one kid that went public. He dropped out a year in advance, a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
He would have been in this class.
Mm-hmm.
He dropped out due to financial reasons.
Okay.
So he kind of came forward like, dang, now he trying to have a platform on why do we have student debt? And, hey, I'm with you. Like I said, going into it.
Hey, look, life is about choices. Think about the dude that was sitting at the bar when the 5 Heartbeats became famous. He left the group. He could have been with them. The movie 5 Heartbeats. He, the singing group, the 5 Heartbeat. It's an older movie. But anyway, they were successful. They had gone through all the ups and the downs, the ins and the outs, and dealing with all these adversities and obstructions that are just normal. These are just part of the vicissitudes of life, man. Things that we actually go through. Those who stayed with the group, they continued on and moved forward. He's like, man, forget y'all. Y'all think he left. But then when he saw and heard that they were successful, he's like, man, I wish, I shoulda, I coulda, I woulda. But once you missed the boat, you missed it. The boat is moving faster than you can swim. Do you try to swim out of it? You catch the next boat. You learn from your experiences. I mean, of course he's gonna reach out. Why do we have student loans? You're gonna have to pay for everything you do in life. Ain't nothing free. I teach my children, ain't nothing free. What about air? Well, you gotta work your lungs to get the air. So that ain't free.
Yeah.
So keep it moving. Shout out, man. Congratulations.
Before we move on, I just want to read one thing. According to a report from the Center of American Progress, Black students are more likely to take out student loans than their white peers, and nearly half of Black borrowers default on their student loans. One Morehouse graduate told the Associated Press that he had $200,000 in student debt, and that when Smith announced the gift, and that is live.
Yeah, that's my live.
Live notifications.
It certainly is.
Live alarms.
Live alarms.
So one student had $200,000 in student debt, and when Smith announced the gift, we all cried in the moment. It was like a burden had been taken off by eliminating these graduates' debt. Smith very directly changing their future. 200,000.
Once again, there's nothing right now anybody can tell me that would change my positive attitude towards this man. Good job. I like to know how he made that money. I can learn a whole lot from him.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
Good job, Mr. Smith.
But he was slick. He said, "This is my class."
Yeah.
So he basically saying, "No, 2020."
Somebody else pick it up.
All right, moving forward.
That's good.
Congratulations, Robert Smith. We love you, man, for doing that for these people.
That's good. That's right. The horns.
So what we got next? Want to go local?
I love local. And then I'm going local, and then I'm going home. Okay.
All right, local. We gonna go home after this one.
We going home, y'all.
We didn't have a lot of topics planned anyway.
But this is good. I mean, this is good. It's super good.
Yeah. So we've talked if you're a fan of the show and you've listened to the majority of the episodes, we had Dr. Preston Williams, former superintendent, now interim superintendent.
Yeah.
He has he will vacate that position probably in the next couple of weeks. Sunday night, his replacement was named. This is significant because his replacement was actually demoted by the previous superintendent.
Wow.
So
Demoted?
demoted from assistant superintendent to principal of elementary school.
Wow. So the bureaucracy and politics and everything.
Yeah. So congrats to Jennifer Ivory Tatum.
Congratulations. Where the horns? Where the thing? Where's the buttons? We got buttons over here. Claps.
Oh yeah,
something.
we do
can
hand
give us
claps.
something.
Oh, I forgot about that. Congrats, Jennifer.
Congratulations.
So yeah, Jennifer was worked her way
Pastor
up.
Tatum's daughter.
I think.
Tatum?
Yeah.
That's Brian's sister.
I don't know if she married into the family or
Is she in there?
Jennifer Ivory. So Ivory might be her maiden name. So she might not
Gotcha.
be Tatum. She might be married
God.
into
Yeah.
Tatum.
Okay. But she in there.
Yeah, she in there.
Congratulations. That's good local news. I think that's great.
Yeah.
And she was demoted, and now she's
She was in administration,
okay.
second or third in command, I believe,
Over.
the district. So she was in administration. She
Okay.
wasn't like she was in the front office, not principal, but in the front office in the district. So I guess rumor has it that her and the former superintendent had a disagreement, and he tried to use his power. Well, he used his power to demote her to being a principal. Now, she started off as a teacher, a counselor, a principal at an elementary school. So she worked her way all the way up. And the disagreement, she was going to be demoted. And I think because of her tenure and union, she was going to, it wasn't going to affect her pay per se. Don't give me the line, it may have. But
How much principals make?
it makes six figures, I believe.
Okay.
So, so it was a big, she had a lot of support. It was a huge thing with protests and a lot. She had a lot of support.
Okay.
But the superintendent went through with it. He was, demoted, actually hired a few people in her position. And, so a few things, he made a few mistakes with the discipline. This didn't work out. And that's when our friend of the show, Preston, swooped in out of retirement and then got him a cool one something to be an interim. That was public information in the paper. So, and the reason why, so what we're going is Jennifer had moved on to a position in Champaign, second or third in command in Champaign, and then went for the superintendent position and got it. So,
How'd you get that position? I mean, you vote on it, or who hired? Who hired her for the position?
I think the school board. I think you have a school board, you have people in the district, you have community. I mean, it was announced on Sunday at a school board meeting, so I guess there was a recommendation.
Okay.
So she went through all that.
That's good. Congratulations. That's good.
I may invite her on the show. I hope, like I said, it's this black coffee, no sugar, no cream.
Man, black coffee, no sugar. No. Ask. I mean,
yeah. Her son is a basketball player for Urbana, so she's active. She not hiding. She in the mix.
Ask her. I mean,
so
what can she say? Yes or no? I mean, just ask her. Just put it out there. Like, hey, come on the show.
Come on the show. And I got some things printed up, some little flyers printed up for the show. So I give her one. Yeah,
I'm a plugger. That's good.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
Congratulations, Jennifer.
Congratulations, Jennifer.
So I still will be in doctor. I think doctor. Don't get me.
Dr. Tatum.
I hope I'm not. You doctor in our book.
Man, speak things as though it is. You're a doctor,
Yeah,
not you. Oh,
Dr.
she gonna be
Taylor.
healing the school system. So
Yeah,
that's good.
so
That's
so,
good.
yeah,
Good
so-
job, Doc.
we all happy for you. You
I'm
know.
very happy. That's good.
So yeah, we'll get Preston back on, and
Yeah,
once he's
he's cool.
relieved of his duties,
Yeah.
have a good talk. Just try to get into
Okay,
what
so-
happened. When everything was going down this year. All right, so we gonna get on up out of here.
Yep,
but
I'm going to get me something to eat.
yeah,
me
one
some
more
coffee.
thing. Monique said we must allow black men to have side chicks.
What?
Monique said we.
No, she didn't.
So
Allegedly, anyway.
Monique is back on our good side, good graces. Good graces.
She's not on no good graces. That's bad.
The popular female comedian Monique is coming under fire for telling black women at her show to allow their husbands and boyfriends to have side chicks. And the usually funny Monique wasn't joking when she gave the women the unusual relationship advice.
That's bad.
During the show, Monique started off talking about how much she loves black men. Monique frequently told the mostly female audience that we black women need to love our brothers and support our brothers.
Wow.
Then her discussion turned bizarre. Monique told the black women in the audience to allow their men to have side chicks. According to Monique, requiring a black man to be monogamous came out of white supremacy.
Wow.
Your thoughts?
I am not leaving on that note.
Okay, you don't want to leave on that note? Okay.
No,
well then.
wait a minute now. She said that?
She's
Somebody hacked her account, man. I mean, no, she didn't say that.
somebody posted on their YouTube, so they went to see Monique.
Man, I tell you this. Who would,
Now, remember when we had the whole thing when she went up to the Breakfast Club and you listened and you was tripping how she was calling her husband daddy.
that was interesting.
So I think they do have an open relationship,
An
open marriage,
relationship.
an open marriage.
I think that's an oxy, what you call it thing. That's like a fox. That's an oxymoron. I mean, it's just an open marriage.
Yeah.
Marriage is actually a desire for two people to meet, to greet, to become one and grow and develop together. That actually goes against the tenets of marriage, It's like, if it's an open marriage, it's not, and it's my opinion, I got one, I can say what I want. Marriage is, marriage is just that. And it's a intimate personal relationship between two people. That's it. That's all. That's like one of the first institutions that's set up, and out of that grows, survivability and legacy, So when you say an open relationship, I mean, that this person is being with somebody else and you're okay with that. Watch this. You got diseases. You have, what kind of parameters?
But here's the thing,
Ain't no
and
thing.
this is how
Ain't no thing.
we have to take her words literal. We can't put words in her mouth. This
I
is
ain't
what
putting nothing
she
in her mouth.
allegedly was quoted as saying. We need to allow black women in the audience need to allow their men to have side chicks.
And what are the side chicks gonna do?
She didn't speak on that, so
Well, so you can't just
we're
stick it
going
out there
to assume that she did not tell them to have side dudes.
Well, if a man has a
Side chick.
Okay, he's with the side chick. Man, this ain't even worth talking about. I
Okay.
think that's bad. That's
All right,
bad,
well, we
bad.
can't go home on that.
No, something positive, man. I'm telling you. Because if you're the side chick, she will eventually want to be the whatever the main chick, I guess. Or
Yeah, the backup quarterback is the most popular person on campus, and on campus on the team, especially if you start losing football games.
wow.
Backup quarterback.
And Monique said that. Come on, man.
That's what they said. She said. Okay, Megan Good says judgmental Christians have pushed her away from the church, and it's unfortunate. You a PK? Megan Good is steadfast in her Christian beliefs, but she says she doesn't attend church as much as she'd like to due to overcritical church goers. While talking about a sex scene in her new film, The Intruder, the 37-year-old actress told D.L. Hughley on his Eponymous show, I think that's the right pronunciation, that her husband, Devon Franklin, a Seventh-day Adventist preacher, as well as a film exec and author, doesn't interfere with her love scenes. He encourages her to make them authentic on screen, and he gave it her all with Michael Ealy in the drama. He wasn't looking to change me in marriage. He knew who I was before marriage. The admission led to good opening up about religion and church culture. She's very religious. She said Jesus tops her list of heroes, and she and Franklin were celibate before marrying, but has some issues with other members of the church who are quick to attack and judge. Asked if she attends church with Franklin often, Good replied, not all the time, because if I'm being completely honest, my experience with some church folks has not been all that positive. It's unfortunate because we're supposed to be the biggest lovers. She said of Christians, even if you disagree with someone or you don't think what they're doing is right, you're supposed to mind your own business and pray for that person. Other times you're supposed to correct in love if that's what God told you to do. And there was no correction in love. It was like a complete assault. Hughley mentioned Good talked about previously when Franklin came to her defense after an unidentified woman suggested she should cover up when making a public appearances after she was married. There have been a few of them, Good replied. I'm waiting on the timeline. I can't believe she did this sex scene. She's a married woman, referring to hateful comments that she received. At the end of the day, for me, I still love Christians. I will always love the church. I love the Lord, Savior, period, point blank. That's first and foremost over everything. But even though I love some of these people, I have to love them from a distance because my spirit is too sensitive. And even though I've gotten to a place of balance, I'm the type of person that if I see someone crying, I'll start crying. I'm extremely sensitive, so I have to protect my spirit because those people don't always know what they're doing. PK, former, current, future PK. Your thoughts, and we going home.
Well, my thoughts on that is, once again, the word Christian, we really don't really understand the word. Most words that we use, but I tell you this, if it is a personal relationship that you have with God, the Creator, or Jesus, whoever you can call, whatever you want to call it, if it's personal, what can anybody say about your personal relationship? And what they do in their marriage, you may not want to do the same thing in yours. So when you say open, it's an open relationship, Then what if you found out that this person that she was with or he was with is someone who, they wanted to get together and stay together. So, and then they decide they want to close it up and now they don't want you to be in a relationship. These are the things that, potentially happen. Jeff Bezos is a good example. Apparently he was in a relationship. I mean, it was open, at least it was open long enough for him to get out the door to go and, be with somebody else. So, and now I think he's going to be with this other person. Then now does he now have an ongoing relationship with his wife, or does he close that door and then now be with the new person? You see what I'm saying? So it can be argued what? We snuck around together.
So are you tying this into Monique or what?
Yeah, I'm tying it in.
Okay.
I'm tying all of it in. I'm tying all of it in. I'm just saying that because he's, on a world stage and quite a few people know what happened with him. Yeah. Apparently he had an affair. Yeah. And then I don't know if he got caught or whatever, but he got to the
husband,
point.
I think the person that he cheated with, husband.
Okay, expose him.
Yeah.
Yeah, expose him. But then he was like, you know what? Fine. I want to be with her anyway. He got divorced to be with her. The noble part of it. Well, the noble part of it, he's like, you know what? He decided, okay, I'm going to end this and I'm going to be with this person. Okay, now how does that tie in with Monique? Anytime you use the word side chick, it connotes negativity. Like, you're sneaking around. It's a secret lover, undercover. Don't want nobody to know. It's, people have this thing that it's intriguing. We're going to have fun, but where there's a low level of responsibility, or loyalty. When you talk about a side chick, she doesn't have any rights. You just, what is that then? And then how long does the side chick stay the side chick, or does she advance and move up in different degrees and eventually become on an upper tier, upper level of, I guess, commitment where, okay, I'm only going to mess with you. So does the guy get another side chick when he gets tired of that one, and another one and another one? So in Monique, if she did say it, why did she say it, and under what what kind of parameters, what kind of borders, because everything has borders, everything has walls, everything has some kind of fences. So, and she say, black woman, let your man have a side chick. That's an interesting thing to say. I'd like to know why. I'm not really, but if it comes up, that's fine. I ain't gonna spend a whole lot of energy on it. But what would you do with this side chick? You go out every now and then, have a little fun. I mean, what you gonna do? You gonna pay for a place to stay? Is that like polygamy or not
Yeah,
quite?
I mean, it can get expensive. I mean, but
then you got diseases.
yeah, you can get somebody pregnant.
I mean, you get hurt feelings. Lack of trust. I mean, how can the side chick trust this guy when she know they messing around, and then when the wife finds out, then is she gonna like go along with it? So you're saying that Monique saying, "Hey, let your husband."
That's what she allegedly said. But Megan Good, let's get back to Megan Good.
She's at the church and being judgmental.
Yeah, she ain't.
Well, we have everybody judges. We have to judge. We judge everything. We going into the stoplight. Do we slow down or we speed up when it's yellow? You got to make a judgment. You got to make a call. We judge everything.
So why? So should church folks be viewing that type of content?
What content?
She did a love. She has done love scenes on film, on screen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if she's bore all because I'm not a movie buff.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know if Megan Good has
Don't do that.
has at least had a top off. I'd like to know.
You can't say that, man. That's bad.
But she's a devout Christian. Her husband is a Seventh-day Adventist minister.
Mm-hmm.
And she don't go to church like she used to because of the judgmental, because,
I can understand that. I mean, very few people are in the same church that they grew up in. I mean, just like any organization, you join an organization because it fulfills a need. And once that need is met, then do you move on to something else? And sometimes I hear, people say, well, I'm not being spiritually fed,
Oh, that's my favorite one.
Yeah, I'm not being spiritually fed. And now, very few people really hang on to the word religion opposed to spirituality. So the church is an organized religion. It's an organized entity that was set up, there are laws, regulations, and bylaws, So even in the church, it is supposed to be forbidden to have sex outside of marriage.
In the church, or is that in the Bible?
Well, either way.
Fornication, that's what it's called.
Fornication, adultery. If you don't decide to live your life by certain rules, then you can never grow and develop as a community. Because, you see something, you want it, you're going to get it, regardless to how it affects somebody else, So people are judgmental. And if you're in the church and there are rules and regulations and bylaws and statutes and principles that you're supposed to live by, and the example that you may set for younger generations, then I think, of course, they should say something. And if you don't want to go to that church, then you have that choice. But there are some people who are like, you know what? Yeah, we want to stay conservative. We don't want everything just all loose and all wild and all crazy. We want laws, In certain neighborhoods, hey, all mailboxes got to be the same.
But she was celibate before marriage.
What does celibate mean?
Not having sex.
Well, if you've had sex before, can you enter into celibacy after you've had sex before?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't, and I'm not celery. Ain't none of them vegetables. I don't know about no celibate. I don't. It's crazy to me. But hey, you can choose, and that's. I think this.
I mean, so I think when she met her current boyfriend, they abstained. I'm not going to call it celibacy. They
that's
abstained.
Good. Yeah, that's Erica Harrell
until they got
good.
married. Until they got married.
Okay.
So they practiced according to, like you said, the laws, the principles, the rules. So her job, at times causes, proposes her to do things that may compromise those principles, those rules of the religion per se.
Okay.
I'm not even going to say spirituality, the religion, because religion to me is just you do this, you do that, you don't do this, you don't do that.
Okay.
You know, which I don't like.
Gotcha.
But so what she does at work.
So is it okay to violate your principles if it's you making money?
To me,
Man, watch it now because
To me-
it's like justifiable, homicide.
so if
I
so
had
if
to.
I-
It was my job.
so
But was it the right thing to do?
okay, so if we're watching an action movie and thou shalt not kill, but if I'm doing a film and that requires me that causes me to actually take a gun and shoot somebody, even though it may be acting, that violates it too.
Okay. I can see that. But I like action movies.
Right.
I do. But I mean, I'm not going, you wouldn't want your wife to sleep with nobody else. You shouldn't want your wife to sleep with nobody else.
No, but are they sleeping? I mean, if you're doing a sex
Not
scene,
sleeping. I mean, you don't
if
want.
you're doing a sex scene on film,
Doesn't
do
matter.
you know how many cameras, how many directors, how many people are in the room? Like, are you really? Is it really actual a sex? So I get it. If you have your top off, if you doing La La on Power, like that was a big thing when Lala Anthony took that top off and them bosoms was,
You've been going to therapy, man.
Yeah, I seen Shauna last week. Shout out to Shauna.
I'm going home.
All right, man. We out of here. Megan Good. Megan Good. Hey, if you got to stay away from the church, I'm all for it. But hey,
Making good, you are the church.
they gonna want that 10. They gonna want that 10%.
10%. I knew
You
you
know
were
that you
there,
done
man.
made off that movie.
You got to pay the building fund. You got to pay the
Yeah,
keep it going.
the general
Outreach
offering.
program.
Yeah,
Come on
pay the
now.
minister of music, the drummer, the guitars.
That's part of the ministry.
The preacher driving the.
And don't complain about it.
Creflo Dollar on a jet.
There's nothing wrong with that.
See, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with that. They
So,
don't. I mean,
so
you
if
gotta
a stripper,
give it. That's it.
come in there and get that bread
We out.
and tie 10% of that stripper money, and he want that. All right, y'all, we out. This Black Coffee, No Sugar, No Cream. This is episode 49. I didn't introduce myself. We didn't introduce ourselves.
They
I'm
know
at
we got
Kenneth
this.
Jinx.
And I'm Brother Timothy. That's good.
This is 49, brother.
49.
I appreciate you.
Man, I appreciate you too. That's good.
I know you're tired, but I got you cracking up, man, and so I feel accomplished. And we everywhere where you can put in, where
That's
you can
good.
listen to podcasts.
Yes.
Of course, SoundCloud. We just, we'll get it back up, but just put us in.
We got other stuff.
Yeah,
We
you
got,
can catch all the
change
episodes.
channel, turn the
Yeah.
knob. We got other stuff.
So
Spreaker,
yeah, Spreaker, Stitcher.
Stitcher, somebody.
Yeah, but until then, peace be unto you, and take us home in the Arabic language.
Assalamu alaikum.
Y'all finished or y'all done? I ain't got no more talking.
Peace, y'all.
Peace. That was good, really good.